Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Power Vacuum. I'm your host, Belmont, and we have an update on Cyberpunk. I know they said that they were done doing updates, but it seems CD Projekt Red just can't keep their hands off this property, probably because it's their first new IP in a long time, and they finally achieved the goal they were looking for with the game. But I got this from Gaming Bible. I saw this headline, and I gotta know what's up. Cyberpunk 2077 fans in love with game changing new feature. We'll see about that. The release of Cyberpunk 2077 for Nintendo Switch 2 has been celebrated as a brilliant launch, showcasing the new hardware, but also shining a bright spotlight on the game. CD Projekt Red, knowing that they needed to do something special with this release, pulled out all the stops and added some cool features for the Ultimate Edition of Cyberpunk 2077. Not only does the game look great and run surprisingly well on the Nintendo hardware, but it feels like a brand new game thanks to the new control system. Of course, there's the motion controls, as with so many Nintendo releases, but the Switch 2 allows for mouse aiming via the Joy-Con sensors, and fans are blown away. What? Hold on. Are you saying they're actually using the mouse feature for like first-person shooter stuff? Because that is huge. I've dabbled with the mouse aiming, and it's a wonderful addition, but quickly becoming my favorite way to play the game. Fans on social media consider the control scheme to be a breath of fresh air. Mouse like control is a game changer, exclaims one fan on Twitter. Yeah, it is on X now, by the way. It's been long enough. Let's just call it what it's going to be forever now. But that is absolutely a game changer. That's a game redefiner, not even a changer, because the game isn't changed. The game has like been redefined. It's evolved into a new game basically. Taking something that was meant to be played or played on, I shouldn't say meant to be played, but played with a controller and giving it mouse and keyboard controls sometimes hinders the games, but most times is a vast improvement. There is a mod for 007 GoldenEye that obviously on the PC that makes it a mouse and keyboard game, and it is so smooth and fluid to play 007 with it. It just go look at the gameplay. There's people out there. Look at how well they control the game. It was absolutely meant to be played with a mouse and keyboard. Another player notes, in conjunction with cross saves, this may be the main reason I buy the game on multiple platforms. Now, while the cross saves, can you load saves from one console to the next or PC? Because that's kind of cool. Because that means if you play mostly on your PC, but then you have a Switch 2 and you want to keep playing your game while you travel, you can. That's nuts. That's super cool. Where was I? Now, while the mouse aiming is a great way to play, it does still need a little work, which is understandable as it's a new way to play for console players. It's also an entirely new hardware system that Nintendo hasn't really delved into, so there are going to be like some kinks to work out. Perhaps the biggest drawback for many is the lack of seamless control switching. As this user points out, I'd like to only use mouse mode during shootouts, but always having to switch through the settings is annoying. They ask for switch seamless between mouse and joystick controls, and they're not the only one. Despite this, the new control scheme is a hit, and several fans are feeling great about it, with one saying, I actually love playing in mouse mode. The port is fantastic. You guys knocked it out of the park. This is hopefully a feature we'll see in shooters coming to the Nintendo Switch. If they don't add this to shooters coming to the Nintendo Switch, they're just stupid because that's insane. That's the best reason to get a Nintendo Switch 2 right now. Mouse and keyboard or key I can't talk. Mouse like function on a console, fantastic. Top of the game. I give my commendations to CD Projekt Red for actually updating the game to be supported through that because it's game changing for Nintendo people. Nobody else is going to really get to experience it, and people on part PC already experience it. But That's huge. That's a huge move for the Nintendo. That is a that is what we call a pro gamer move right there. Congratulations, Nintendo. You did something good, but one good thing in this avalanche of terrible bullshit you've been pulling might not be enough to save your company, but this is a step in the right direction. Now just drop your frivolous lawsuit against Palworld and we'll be fine. But that's all I have for this story. This is your host Belmont, signing out.